Our participants can pose their questions in the chat box, and we'll take up one by one the queries. Okay. Dear participants, it is my privilege to introduce Dr. Veronica Vargas Alejo. She is PhD in mathematics from the Center for Research and Advanced Studies of IPN Mexico. IPN is an abbreviation of National Polytechnic Institute, if I'm correct, and that is the largest public universities in Mexico, having nearly 200,000 students in various levels. And she is a member of Mexican National Researchers from 2013 to 2016. She has professional experience as a researcher in the field of mathematics education. Her areas of research include mathematical modeling perspective, problem solving, and STEM education. She has been publishing in national and international journals of repute, and she is associated with many national and international centers, including University of Texas at San Antonio, Arizona State University, and University of Texas at Austin, USA. She has been founding member of International Research Group in STEM education, and currently she is coordinator of CONACYT Master's Degree Program in Mathematics Education in University of Guadalajara, Mexico. And CONACYT is abbreviation of, I think, National Council of Science and Technology, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And yeah, with these few words, I welcome our speaker, and she will talk on modeling and modeling perspective as an option to improve mathematical training of individuals in this unprecedented time in Mexico and in the world. And I hope, we will get to know the education system of Mexico in general, and mathematics education in particular, and the initiatives that have been being taken in Mexico to motivate young students towards mathematics education. With these few words, I welcome our speaker today, Dr. Veronica Vargas Alejo. And over to Dr. Vargas Alejo, and the floor is yours. I invite you to deliver the lecture.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jamal. Thank you for the invitation. Well, help me with the time, please. Okay, since several months ago, millions of students were forced to move towards a virtual education for which Mexico, as many other countries, was not prepared. Although the digital technology offers many opportunities to access specialized materials in multiple formats, to learn through intelligent online learning systems, countries as Mexico were not ready for these digital learning opportunities. I'm going to describe the Mexican situation about the access technology and internet using some data collected from students who are ready to be involved at the university institutions. Having access to a computer that students can use to do their work in their homes is very important in this pandemic time. In Mexico, around 55% of Mexican students report that they have a computer to use for working at home. Here we can see there is a very large gaps across socioeconomic groups. Here is Mexico. And around 55% of Mexican students report that they have a computer to use for working home. About 88% of students from privileged backgrounds have a computer to use for working at home, compared to just 24% of those from disadvantaged backgrounds. Here we can see, and this is disadvantaged schools, and this is advantaged schools. You can see more information about this data in this link. Many of the students don't have computers, tablets, smartphones, and internet service at least. The internet, as you know, is required for online learning. And about the internet service, we can say that in Mexico, 94% of 15 years old from privileged backgrounds have a link to the internet in their homes. The pandemic has highlighted the socioeconomic difference that coexists among Mexicans. Technology and internet, you know, are very important in this time of crisis, but there are some other issues that we need to pay attention. For example, the quality of education. Since March 2020, national and local conferences are held daily in Mexico on TV. Some similar explanations have been repeated frequently because the citizen attitudes denote how difficult it has been to understand the information and graph representations of the pandemic. Understanding the spread of disease, its evolution and consequence, and in every sphere of lives has not been easy. Processing the information that comes from various sources, many of them of poor quality, is a daily challenge. What is happening? If we faced the disease like AIDS, influenza, and dengue, what have we learned from them? Have these phenomena been used in the classroom to promote understanding or public awareness? Have students developed basic mathematical knowledge to understand the behavior of the pandemic? More questions are the following. Have we thought about the purpose of education? How well are we preparing students? Have we taught students to interpret and describe real-life situations? What should the students know and learn in the classroom? In this unprecedented age, there is a need to rethink or reconceptualize the goals of education, particularly around the mathematical training required by individuals. We should create learning communities where researchers, teachers, students, and administrators, among others, interact and build alternatives to achieve a quality education. We need to promote the development of critical thinking, problem solving, and decision-making skills in the classroom. The students need to learn how to interpret, describe, predict, and control situations. Mathematics education must go beyond just promoting the memorization of mathematical definitions and the mechanization of algorithms. Students should have the opportunities to develop knowledge and the flexibility to use it to interpret, describe, and predict situations. Students should learn to discover patterns of change, represent them, understand different types of change, recognize them when they occur, have skills to identify them, and learn to predict and control them for the benefit of themselves and humanity. So, we propose the use of models and modeling perspective to learn mathematics in the classroom. The use of technology is very important, and the use of multi-field experiments. We are working on the design of learning environments and teacher professionalization based on models and modeling perspective. We are a group of researchers from Campus Viviente project, and we work in many different places in the country, Mexico country, and also we are from different universities. Researchers from this project are been working on the design of many activities like this, because the models and modeling proposes that the students need to solve situations close to the real life. Learning mathematics is considered as a social process of developing models that are continuously modified during the students' interactions with their classmates and teachers when solving problems. Knowledge is considered as a complex and dynamic system, self-regulating and constantly adapting. A concept may not be learned in isolation from other concepts, phenomena, and related processes. The knowledge is the result of human constructions through processes that involve differentiation, integration, and refinement phases. The communication in the classroom between the students and the teacher permits that the conceptual system or models can be shaded, manipulated, modified, and reused to describe, interpret, construct, manipulate, predict, or control systems. According to the models and modeling perspective, model eliciting activities close to the real life, allow the construction and integration of students' mathematical knowledge and abilities. These activities requires that the students develop a mathematical interpretation which require different ways of thinking about the situation. Model eliciting activities demand posing questions, formulate conjectures, quantify information, organize and analyze data, do calculation, establish relationships, apply procedures, create representations, develop criteria, and evaluate results. The students have to express, test, and define and refine their ways of thinking about the situation. They create shareable, manipulatable, modifiable, and reusable conceptual tools. Technology, as I said, is very important because of the capability to construct a variety of representations. The models and modeling perspective suggest the use of multi-tiered methodologies to support the development of teacher training programs. The students develop models. The teachers observe how students construct the models, and the researchers observe how professors change their way of thinking about how students reconstruct the models. In other words, the teacher influences the construction of knowledge by students and vice versa. Something similar occurs with researchers who influence teachers and are affected by them. The research we work is qualitative. My students and I adapt and design model eliciting activities in Mexican context. We create workshops for teachers and the students where they problematize the nature of mathematics learning. We use face-to-face and now virtual environment. Some objectives are the following: to help high school and undergraduate students to develop mathematical knowledge and abilities to use this knowledge in solving problems close to the real life, to create learning communities to support teachers in reflecting on and improve their teacher practice. Some results are the following. We have been working on research projects. We have theses, workshops, talks, and several activities. You can use these links to find some of our talks, and you can find many descriptions about our work. The activities are like this. We have been designed some of them, and some others we only have adapted from activities designed by another researchers. For example, this is Bigfoot. This is about the deforestation, and this is about hotels. This is about the disease, manatees, and these are designed in the NetLogo environment. You can download from the internet. It is free. And the students enjoy very much to solve these kind of activities. One example of the activities is this about the deforestation of the, or you can talk about the cultivation of the avocado. The teachers use mathematical concepts, function, equation, variation, rate, and estimation to solve the model eliciting activity. As we can see, here there is like a newspaper where students can read some information about the context of the situation. And here is some questions about the context of the situation. It is a real life situation. We have a forest in Michoacan, and the forest is going to decreasing, is decreasing because of the cultivation of the avocado. So students from Michoacan read this information, answer the questions, and after that they had to solve a problem where they could find some information, but they have to estimate some data to create a model to predict how much time they will enjoy the forest. Here we can see the procedures that students created when they solve the situations. As you can see, the models are very different. Here we have a linear approximation, here an exponential approximation, and we have here a quadratic approximation, and this is an exponential. This is a linear approximation. When they use technology, they can create very good models because they have enough time to ask the computer to make graphs. And here, because they don't have enough time, they can't produce a better model, but you can see the ideas. It is exponential approximation. The goal of this activity was to support the modification and extension of the teacher's conceptual system around the concepts of function, variation, equation, rate of change, and unknown. We put them in situations where they had to interpret, explain, and evaluate the goodness of the models as models and modeling's perspectives suggest. So the conclusions are the following. Researchers, teachers, and students, when we use this perspective, are very happy because they know that they can use these activities in the classroom, but also they are confronted with traditional perceptions of solving routine problems in the classroom that needed a unique solution. In this kind of activities, there isn't a unique solution. There are many models that can give a different solution. Of course, they will have different predictions, but that is the goal, because they have to discuss about the model and about the goodness of the model. At the beginning, some of the teachers do not validate the process of estimation. However, the communication during the teamwork and the group discussion allow them to modify, extend, and refine ideas. In this perspective, it's very important that the teachers or students give the initial ideas, and then they need to modify them, extend them, and refine them, so they can learn better mathematical concepts, and they can develop abilities. The teachers learn about the importance of provoking students to create models in order to learn mathematical knowledge and to develop abilities. All the teachers always are interested in applying these kind of activities in the classroom to encourage mathematical learning, to develop abilities, to interpret, explain, justify, and evaluate models, and to raise awareness of the problem context. In this case, deforestation, for example. The teachers validate the estimation to describe the predict situation. It is important to say that the teachers don't validate the estimation to describe situations. They usually try to get an exact value as an answer. So it is very difficult to see that the students create different models and to validate the models depending of the answers that the models give to the situations. They exhibit new ways of thinking about teaching and learning mathematics. The students learn mathematics and at the same time enjoy working in learning communities. The students feel that they are learning for life and future job, and this is important for them because mathematical concepts can be applied in real situations. We have found that these activities can be used in online environment with similar results. We have been working with these kind of activities using Microsoft Teams, for example, and we found that similar results. We found similar results. I don't know if you have any questions. These are some reference about the work we are doing in this Campus Viviente project. Some of them, or the majority, are from Dor and Lesh, and we have some papers that we wrote about some of the activities we have used in the classroom to provoke that the students create models to discuss some mathematical concepts, because we think that it is very important that the students create conceptual systems where they can relate many concepts, and not only they learn one concept and then another concept and then another concept, and after that maybe sometimes, if the time is enough, they can apply these concepts to solve any real situations. Here is vice versa. We have the real situation, and the students need to solve with their initial concepts, and after that they organize all the concepts that they have initial, but they have to organize the concepts that they were communicating with other students and with the professors. So, well, this is in Spanish, but you can find some contributions in English language. Thank you very much. I hope you have some questions. And that's all that I prepared for you now.
Thank you, Dr. Veronica. It was nice and short presentation. And I think as and when I don't see any specific query, so let me inquire few things. Like you mentioned learning communities, right?
Yes.
So how do you actually interact with the students? Is it in the classroom or elsewhere? And how you get the people together? Because the different people will be the teachers, students, administrators, and all. How do you handle it? I mean, how to get them together?
Okay. Well, we have two different communities. One of them is formed by professors, administrators, and teachers and researchers. And another community, learning community, is what we do in the classroom. For example, when the teacher proposes a problem in the classroom, they usually look for the creation of many models. So students need to discuss all of them to decide which is the better to predict the situations. And about another community, learning community, we always try to work with as a researcher, we try to work with the teachers to communicate the ideas about how students develop the knowledge in these learning communities. Also, we have a very large community in the country where we interchange our experiences about the research we are doing. We usually try to understand the situation of the teachers that they are experimenting when they work with the students, because it is very difficult to train teachers, and it is very difficult that the teachers try to use this perspective in the classroom. It is not easy because we have found that they are traditionals. They try to teach as following always the textbook, and it is not bad, but it is not enough to try to teach students mathematical knowledge.
Okay, so like you have been doing this for quite some time, I guess. So do you see the progress in attitude of the students towards mathematics?
Yes, we have many difficult about the attitudes, because as we know, in all the world, many students don't like to study careers related to mathematical knowledge, like engineering. There are few students who want to be engineer. We work with people, with the students who are studying, for example, social sciences, and usually they think that mathematical knowledge is not useful. They don't need it. There are not reasons to learn mathematical knowledge, and I think this is because teachers, when they teach, they only try that the students memorize concepts, and the students never solved problems near to their professional activity they are going to do in the future. So with these kind of activities, the students said, wow, mathematical knowledge is useful. I didn't know it. I didn't know it that I can use what I learned in the high school. And they are surprised about how even they can solve or they can propose a model to solve a situation that sometimes they didn't know how to do it. At the beginning, they propose solutions. They use their initial knowledge, and after that, they profound in their mathematical knowledge. They learned formalism. Of course, the teachers have an important role here, because he, at the end of the activities, give a conference, give a class to teach students whatever mathematical knowledge they have to learn.
Okay, Dr. Veronica, let me read out some of the questions posed by our participants. We have few here. So one question from Amit Sharma is, how we model related isolation to Corona? I think Corona modeling he is talking about.
Yes, I'm going to, well, let me a moment.
Yeah.
Well, yes, we have found that many people don't understand the disease, the corona disease. And so we were working in Microsoft Teams now during the pandemic time in these kind of activities. You can see here Net Logo. This is a simulation program software where we can model the disease problem. I cannot, well, at your right, at the bottom, here we have the disease simulation, and we were working with the students who didn't understand very good how the behavior of the situations were. And where they were working, they understood the exponential function, and they understood because the software is dynamical. So construct the graph while the persons were having the infection. So it was very important for students to see how the graph were constructed, because they could see the moment when they were infected. So it is very important, because they didn't understand the graphs when I'm sorry, I didn't remember how to say, the political persons always are giving the information on TV about the disease in Mexico City, and in Mexico, the country. And sometimes we can see many graphs and graphs and graphs, and we believe that students and people and citizens understand them, but no, they don't understand. They only see like a line, and they can see that they are included or they can be included in this graph, because they only see a line, and many people are sick now, but I'm not sick, and it is very difficult to understand. So with these kind of simulations, students can understand it.
Okay. So another question, again from Amit Sharma, I think. Can we create a mathematical model for social distancing to understand it better as a mathematician?
Oh, I couldn't understand it.
It is about social distancing. He is asking, can we? I think social distancing will be a component in any model of such diseases. Social distancing he is talking about.
No, I'm sorry. I couldn't understand.
I think how we can incorporate social distancing in modeling of such diseases. Probably that's what he's asking. Okay. Let us, it's not very clear to the speaker, I think. Let us move ahead to the next question.
Okay,
What is
thank you.
the role of the teacher in the implementation of the MEA? Role of
What
a
about the
teacher.
implementation of
Yeah.
model eliciting activity? I think so.
Yes.
MI. Okay.
Yeah.
So the question is,
What is the role of the teacher?
the role of the teacher. Okay. At the beginning, the teacher only asks questions. For example, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? What will happen if you do this? The teacher doesn't contribute to the model that students are creating. The students have the opportunity to do whatever they want. It is very difficult because the students usually are asking the teachers, am I right? Is this a solution? Can I use this? And now the teacher said, if you think you are right, go ahead. So the teacher only is facilitating the construction of models, and finally at the end, when the students describe the models they constructed, the teacher take part using activities like these simulations, for example, where students can perform the mathematical knowledge. But at the beginning, the teacher only observe, because the teacher is going to use the initial ideas of the students to produce or to develop the mathematical or the formal mathematical knowledge.
Okay, let me take up another. It says, how we use linear algebra in our daily life. Do you work in linear algebra? The question is about use of linear algebra in daily life.
Linear algebra?
Yeah.
Where we were working about mixture problems. Okay. And we create some activities where students have to decide, for example, what the conditions about meals. Sometimes we don't create activities like this, sometimes we can use the newspaper, for example, and we can encourage students to do their own problems, and after that they have to solve them. And I don't know how to say granola in English, but it is a mix of fruits, a mix of many fruits and oats, and the students and people can use it to eat. And but there are many properties that the fruits have. So as a nutrition receipt, for example, the students have to create their mixtures. And this is good because at the beginning, they are selecting the products they want to mix, and they are proving the uh, I'm sorry, they are proving how nutrition can be. And after that, you can use it to teach vectors, for example, and another mathematical knowledge about algebra linear. But at the beginning, they only are playing with products.
That's great. Yeah. So let us move to the next question. It is from Emakala. Are there any barriers in education in use of technology?
About the technology and
Technology barrier. Are there any technology barrier in education?
no, I don't know.
Okay. So here Lalun Thara asking, do you think unlike other fields or subjects, mathematics requires better interaction between teachers and students for better understanding? If so, do you think online teaching make this interaction more difficult?
Yes, I share the idea. Is now it is very difficult to interact teachers and students. We use Microsoft Teams and Zoom platforms because they permit to help to promote the interactions among students, and teacher can participate when the students expose and present their models. I think it is very important that the students have the opportunity to solve situations, because it is more difficult when the teacher only give conference and the students only have to listen to the teacher. And well, if that is the situation, I think you can have some videos and only to show students some mathematical knowledge, some activities. But the interaction is very important because students don't like to present models, for example, at the beginning when we are using these activities, because they didn't feel comfortable to show what they did. They feel that the professor is going to say you are bad, and this is not the goal of this activity. In this kind of activities, the interaction is very, very important, because we have to validate all the models that the students create, and because they are very important, they have many big ideas, big important ideas of mathematics that sometimes the students have not been understood. They need to the teacher explain many ideas. For example, we think that in undergraduate students understand very good linear concepts and quadratic concepts and exponential concepts, because you know, we as teachers taught these concepts in high school. So we don't expect the students will have difficulties with these concepts when they are at the university level. However, when you use these activities, you can see that they don't know how to graph. They don't know how to use them to create a table data. They can't use different representations, and they don't have the flexibility to use it in different ways. The interaction so is very important, because we as teachers can see that difficulties, and we can help students to understand and this knowledge.
Okay, another from Srinivasa Rao. It says general question for inquiry of pedagogy. Mathematics is one of the essential subjects for all the subjects of research. In the Indian context, the subject is up to school level for compulsory for all class 10 level. What about the maths curriculum in USA universities as a part of the basic maths paper in each course level? So,
Okay. The curriculum in Mexico, for example, doesn't include this type of methodologies of inquiry students. So when we work with these activities, we use it at the beginning of the course and at the end of the course. First, to know what students know about some concepts of the course, and at the end to evaluate if they learn the concepts. But the curriculum is full of subjects. It's full of many concepts that students need to learn. So it is difficult to include these activities, but it is not impossible, because we can do it. Well, we can do it at the beginning and at the end, and also in the middle of the course, to continue this kind of formation of the students. But I think now, in the last years, we were working with curriculums that talk about competencies and talk about problem solving. And this is now an opportunity to use these activities. And also because now, you know, STEM education is coming with very well, it's coming now.
okay, another long one from Krishna Das, Dr. Krishna Das. He says, Madam, thank you for the nice presentation. I would like to know, do you admit students in research from foreign countries in your university, especially in the area of mathematical modeling? Any specific requirements, Madam?
Well,
You got it.
well, thank you. And no, there are not especially requirements. Well, I want to say something, that with these kind of perspectives, we try that students experiment an environment similar to the mathematics. Of course, sometimes or many of the students are not going to be mathematicians, so they will not have the opportunity to behave as mathematicians. But it is very important because the life always have many problems that we have to solve, and we need to develop the abilities to solve the problems. So well, I wanted to say that the students have to experiment in these kind of activities, and they don't have to be thinking in being mathematicians.
Okay, another from Vignesh Kumar N. What are the assessment tools used to evaluate their understandings?
Okay, this is a very good question.
Yeah.
These activities permit to know the initial concepts of the students. So these activities are used to evaluate the students too. Because when they solve, they interact with another students in teams. But at the end, sometimes after the teacher explained the conceptual knowledge, we can ask the students to solve again the activities. And it is easy to see how how the procedures are better. So you can see the evolution of the conceptual system of the students, and you can evaluate them using this kind of activity. The difference is that this is not an exam where we have to say good, bad, but you can see the evolution of the conceptual system through the representations they can use. Maybe we think that the students are going to repeat the representations the teacher used, but no, because they didn't understand all the concepts. So when you ask the students to solve again the activities, you can see how good they understand, how well they understood the activity and the context and the explanations of the teachers, and you can evaluate the knowledge.
Okay. Next again from Srinivasa Rao. Okay, nothing here. Then Jagannath Chaudhary is inquiring, is spreading of coronavirus like fractal branching and happens chaotic burst? Do you get it? Is spreading of coronavirus like fractal branching and happens chaotic burst?
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
Okay. I think it's not relevant to the lecture. Anyway, I think that is the end of all the queries, and I must thank, and for the information of our participants, I must mention that, despite the language barrier and despite the odd timing out there in Mexico, our speaker took all the trouble to prepare herself for this lecture. And instead of having a long one-way communication of a long lecture, it has become more two-way communication, interactive, and she tried and responded to almost all the queries. I thank our speaker, Dr. Veronica. And now I invite my colleague, Dr. JP, the current head of Department of Mathematics and Computer Science, to deliver a vote of thanks. JP, can you hear me?
Thank you, sir,
Yeah.
for giving me this opportunity to say vote of thanks to the distinguished speaker. I am honored to say sincere vote of thanks on behalf of Mizoram University and our department, Mathematics and Computer Science. Uh, as I must say, I enjoy this interaction as a participant as well as, and I am very delighted. And on behalf of all participants, madam, I must say you have enlightened all the participants. Actually, when mathematics term is coming, for common man, it give the message that is very dull and boring subject. But the way you interact, so mathematical education, it's very interesting, and you have addressed the many relevant issues in this pandemic situation, how technology works, how it going to help, and I especially enjoy the interactive session, madam. So you have addressed all the queries of various participants. I hope they are very much satisfied, and uh, so in future also, madam, we would like to listen some more interactive session from you, madam. So I think it's time to say uh, uh, thank you for these interactive sessions. That's it from our side, madam.
Thank you, Dr. JP. And I have an appeal for all our participants. I think in a couple of days we'll be able to issue the certificate. So you need not waste your time and energy in communicating with us regarding this. So in due course, you will definitely receive the certificate, and do write your feedback. The link will be sent to your email, I think. And then when you receive, kindly spend some time and give us proper feedback. With this word, I thank one and all, and in particular our speaker, Dr. Veronica. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So goodbye.
Goodbye.